Welcome to Dave's Dimension, the channel where chaos and insanity will always reign supreme. We are the Dimension.
Hey guys, welcome back again. Dave's Dimension, welcome back again for another video. Welcome back to the channel where chaos and insanity will always reign supreme. So we're back again for another video, another unbox. This time around, we're going back. We're going back to the future. Now, those who know Back to the Future is a long, well, don't want to say long, but it is a cult classic. It is a pop culture icon from the 1980s. Back to the Future. Long story short, a very cool kid who doesn't always have things go his way. Well, he's always late. He never seems to be on time. And then one day he was completely out of time. It was a 1985 movie featuring Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd and Leah Thompson about a teenager who inadvertently, due to some very crazy situations, finds himself catapulted backwards in time 30 years to when his parents were teenagers. And he accidentally interrupts them meeting and has to try and get them back together. Otherwise, he'll never be born. While not letting anyone know who he really is and working with a younger version of his best friend from the future who built a time machine who has yet to build that time machine. It's a crazy, awesome, iconic movie of the 80s. It's one of those movies that really stands the test of time. Now, NECA, which I'm sure you guys are familiar, NECA, they have made some very awesome action figures over the years. Ninja Turtles they've recreated the cinematic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from the 1990 movie and many others. They've done, you name it, they've done it all. Chucky, Jason from Friday the 13th, Michael Myers, Pennywise. They make some very awesome realistic figures. And today we're going to be unboxing Biff Tannen, or I shouldn't say Biff, it's GRIFF TANNEN from Back to the Future 2. Now, in Back to the Future 2, the same characters from part 1, this time go 30 years into the future to the year 2015. We're in 2022 right now, so it has some pretty good predictions as far as what's going to happen in the future. Didn't nail them all. I mean, we do have hoverboards, but just not the kind that was in the movie. Well, we're going to go over this figure very shortly. But it's an awesome figure. I am personally, as a big Back to the Future fan, this has easily have to be in my top 3 figures of the Back to the Future line. Now, in case you're wondering, how many figures do they really have, guys? Well, they got quite a few. They've done about, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we have 5 versions of Michael J. Fox, of Marty McFly. We have 2 Docs, and now we have we have Biff and Griff, both played by Tom Wilson, who's an amazing comedian from the 80s. I mean, you guys you must have seen Back to the Future at least once or twice. Me, it's a staple. You guys know me. I'm a big Ghostbuster fan, but I'm also a big Back to the Future fan. If you can't tell, I have Ecto 88 up there, which is a little mashup from a movie, but just to show you guys know I'm a big Ghostbusters fan, right? But I'm also a big Back to the Future fan. Yes, I got the newspaper picture of me with Christopher Lloyd at Niagara Falls Comic-Con a couple years back. I have a couple copies of the almanac, the license plates, and a few of the limited edition Back to the Future comic books. So yeah, guys, I am a big Back to the Future fan, but let's cut right on into this, guys. What do you say? Okay, so we got Griff, played by Tom Wilson, out of the box, and let's take a look at him in his awesomeness. Now, I have the Michael J. Fox 2015 figure, the Marty McFly figure with the hoverboard, and they made a tremendous improvement, not just in detail, but they made a tremendous improvement with how stable the hoverboard is. And what do you say we get right into that? So here we are, guys. We have Tom Wilson here as Griff. that just looks tremendous there, guys, doesn't it? I mean, the amount of detail that they have on here. I mean, his face, his bat that extends outwards. This one does not extend outwards, but let's rotate this around. The detail that they have on the accessories here. I mean, what I love is, especially with some of the Back to the Future 2 figures that they've done, is they've given us details that we didn't see before. Like, here, I'll pull out the Christopher Lloyd from Back to the Future 2. I mean, the sculpts are amazing. Of course, he's holding the newspaper, right? But let's take a look at his shoes. His shoes here, there's little antennas and little additional components that, as an eagle eye Back to the Future fan, I never really noticed those at the bottom of his shoes, because let's face it, in a movie, you really don't notice that stuff, right? But that's the kind of detail that NECA does when they do these amazing figures. So let's go back over the Griff here. So we got his Pitbull hoverboard. And in case you're not familiar with the movie, these little parts right here are supposed to be little tabs, little I don't know what you'll call it, a reel, so that he can actually, because he's got rockets at the bottom here of his hoverboard, he's got rockets here, and that allows him to basically pull people behind him. These are like some, you can think of these as like some battle version Converse here with the horns on the tip of his shoes, the buckles. Let's just kind of scroll back up. We got his one knee pad. And honestly, I never really noticed the radiation. Let me see if I can get the camera to refocus. The radiation emblem on his crotch, I guess you would say. Someone said, is that radiation or is that the flux capacitor? That's just a little bit of irony that the flux capacitor symbol, the Y symbol, which you guys will see right there. That Y symbol, the flux capacitor, just so happens to resemble radiation. So, but let's look at some of the detail on him. Look at the belt. I have him kind of twisted sideways because that's kind of the pose he has when he's extending his bat when he's trying to hit Marty. But look at the tremendous detail that they have on here. Now, I will say this. The helmet itself right there, the cheese grater style helmet, if you will, they have it as more of a, like a light gunmetal gray almost. And in the movie, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but it's more of a silver. So I'm almost tempted to hit this with some silver argent to give it that more realistic, that more movie accurate look to it. But that's just something I'm playing around with. Now, they do give you an extra head here. This kind of maniacal looking head when he's not wearing his helmet. And this is cool because now this gives me an alternate head to go with my regular Biff. Because I do have, got my little Back to the Future section right there. So we do have 1955 Biff up there, which would be Griff's grandfather, along with Radiation Suit Marty, regular Marty, and we got Battle of the Bands Marty up there with 1955 Doc. So, but this, I mean, this one really blows me away. I love the detail on here. I mean, it's cool that they give us this little stand here, okay? But let's take a look at the detail underneath. I mean, it's just amazing here. I love this. It's cool that they give us this little stand, and he's much more stable there. Okay, now, what I mean by that is I have Marty here, okay? Now, his one is very loose, whereas Griff's is pretty stable. Like, I should really take two hands when I'm trying to adjust it, but with Marty, it's very loosey-goosey here, if you will. I almost want to hit it with a little bit of a, not rubber cement, but a little bit of hot glue, maybe to kind of reinforce it. But this is the 2015 Marty. And they do scale. They scale perfect here. Because Michael J. Fox is not that tall opposed to Tom Wilson. So, I mean, this is perfect right here, guys. I love how this looks. If I had a little bit more special effects. We got Griff, batters up, coming after him. And like I said, I didn't even touch him and he just tilted over. That's one thing that they made a tremendous improvements as far as the stands and the slot, the port that it actually goes into. This one is much more stable, much more secure. It could just be a matter of, you know, your miles may vary, but I mean, I love having the Marty McFly here, and I love having Doc, right? But this Griff, they really nailed it out of the park. And by the way, this is soft. I don't want to say soft goods, but very, very soft, almost gel-like plastic here. So this will actually move and contort with them. That's not a, let me see if I can get that to refocus. Whatever you want to call that, gauntlet or whatever, little different parts right there. That will bend and contort with him. So that's very awesome that they gave us that. Let me see if I can get that. I can show you guys that it kind of bends and moves. I'm trying to get the camera to focus on there. But the detail on him is tremendous, guys. You cannot go wrong. If you're a Back to the Future fan, you know, you cannot go wrong with this. Now, his joints are not too tight. They're not too loose either. I know that there's been a lot of people who've had issues with NECA when it comes to tightness. Okay. Sometimes you have to kind of like, you know, soak them in a little bit of warm water to kind of loosen up the joints, the wrists, the hands. A lot of forearms have been busted on some of the Battle of the Bands Martys. But right out of the box, Biff is tremendous. Now, if you're interested in this figure, you can actually get him at your local Target. They're hitting local Targets as we speak right now, guys. You don't want to miss out. This is an amazing figure. I mean, I will definitely want to do some poses with this. I mean, the only way I'm going to be able to really have this is I have to have him a little bit away from Marty. I mean, that iconic scene in Back to the Future 2 when he's chasing him, especially over the water, right in front of the clock tower. But this figure is probably my, I gotta say, he's definitely top 3. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Back to the Future 2 Marty, but the original Marty with the camcorder and the skateboard, probably him, Back to the Future 2 Doc, and now Griff are in my top 3 of those figures. I mean, you really... Now, there has been a price increase. NECA used to be priced at $29.99. They're currently priced at $32.99. That's not that bad compared to other manufacturers, other producers of collectibles and toys, Hasbro, who are cranking up the prices on a lot of their stuff. Still, right now, the best bang for your buck, in my mind, is McFarlane and also NECA. NECA is still giving us all these accessories. Like I said, we got the alternate head here. I mean, we get his extendable baseball bat right here. Obviously, we get the. Let me just take his feet right off of it. We get his Pitbull hoverboard with the straps that extend. They don't really extend on this one, but in the movie they do. And the detail that we have on those rockets are just tremendous, guys. You can't go wrong. Seriously, guys, hit up your local Targets. I'm all the way in Buffalo, New York, and we got them here. They just started hitting the market this past week, and we got them. We already got them here. So hit up your local Targets. Get them as soon as you can. I definitely think this one is going to be one that's going to fly off the shelves. I don't necessarily think we'll have these as peg warmers like we've had replenishments of Doc and Battle of the Bands Marty. I mean, they've done a whole lot of Martys. And there's nothing wrong with that. Trust me, I'm a big Back to the Future fan. But some of the accessories that they've given us in the past have not made sense. But that's another topic for another video altogether, guys. Again, Griff. You cannot miss out on GRIFF TANNEN. You know, the pit bull. You know, the bully of all time. The futuristic bully, if you will. Well, it's 2022, so I guess that would be the past now, wouldn't it? Definitely, guys, you got to cop this. Now, I can definitely see, like I said, hitting some silver argent on the helmet to make it look a little bit more metallic. Maybe even taking the head off, trying to tape around the head, and then hitting this with like a silver spray. Or if you're really good with a steady hand, just take some silver argent, apply it by hand, and see how well that works. If you have an airbrush, I think airbrush would be a little bit better. You know, doing some light passes and brushes, just light strokes, just in case you get a little too overzealous. Just be careful, guys. But with that being said, what do you guys think? What are your thoughts and opinions on this? Is this a hit and miss? Swing and a miss on this? On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm giving him a full 10. Griff out of the box gets a full 10 without. I mean, the paint thing, that's a minor gripe because, you know, it's you got to go for movie accuracy. I mean, that's just me personally. When it comes to Back to the Future, I mean, I cannot ask for a better figure, guys. I really can't. I mean, NECA really nailed it this time. They tremendously nailed it out of the box, guys. On a scale of 1 to 10, like I said, I give it a 10. And by the way, guys, speaking of scales, if you liked this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, give me a thumbs down. If you got comments, questions, concerns, hit me up in the comment section below. And as always, guys, you can always hit me up on Instagram at Daves_Dimension or hit me up at DavesDimension78 @gmail.com. And if you guys feel so inclined that you want to help out the channel, there's our Cash App link right there. Cash App at $DavesDimension to help donate towards the channel. We got a lot of great things coming through the pipeline. And also, please do yourselves a favor and check out all the links in the video description below, which is going to be our YouTube warriors, everyday people like you and me who make amazing content that you don't want to miss out on. And also link for the Ride for Roswell, which is a cancer charity fundraiser event that I'm a part of every year. Basically, it's a bicycle fundraising event or bicycle ride that fundraises for cancer research and treatment, guys. So please take a few moments and check that out in the video description below. But until next time, guys, you know what I'm going to say. Keep on busting, and I will always catch you on the flip side. Take care.